Hi everyone, so today's video is about Pepper, and Pepper's almost 2-ish. It's estimated she'll be 2 around November. We got her when she was about 3 months old, at least that's what the vet told us. So my boyfriend was working at a pet store and some people brought her in as a little puppy, saying that they saw someone throw her out at Walmart. Eve, you okay, Pepper? I assume the story is true, I don't know. But anyway, he brought her home and we have had her ever since, and Pepper is a handful. We think she's a husky mix of some kind. I personally have started to think that she could have some coyote in her. There are Coy dogs, coyote, and dog mixes. And I knew there were wolf dogs. I did not know there were Coy dogs until like a week or 2 ago. And she literally fits the written description of one. So, I don't know. We don't really know what she is. You okay, Eve? Anyway, Pepper is the biggest out of our 3 girls by height and length. However, Yo weighs the most. Pepper is so tall that she can literally have her body laying on this chair and her front feet will touch the ground. Like, she's not reaching to touch the ground or anything, it's just like she's standing. It's insane. Pepper is always full of energy. Girls, she is also kind of devious. She knows she's not supposed to do certain things, so like take food off of the counter. As long as we're watching her, she's fine. Whenever she knows that we are not watching her, she will do what she's not supposed to do. Also, that Pepper is Pepper's toy. It's kind of funny. Pepper is also very smart girl. Bless you. As a puppy, when we were house training her, potty training her, she knew she wasn't supposed to use the bathroom in the house, so if she pooped in the house, she would take something to try to cover it up, so like a blanket or dirty clothes or whatever was in the floor. Luckily, we always found where she used the bathroom. She hasn't done it in a long time, but she used to would get out of her crate. There was one day, so Pepper has to be crated whenever we're not home. She gets into everything. And I mean everything. So one day I was going home and I had called my boyfriend to see if he had put Pepper in the crate or not. And he said he did. Well, I get to the door, and this is before we had Yo-Yo. 2 dogs were greeting me. Eve was at the door, and Pepper was at the door. And I was like, John said he put you up, Pepper. What are you doing out? And he came home, and, I asked him again, and he's like, yeah, I put her up. And I'm like, are you sure? Because she managed to get out of her crate, and then, she was in a back room in her crate, and the door handle was one that you push down, not one that you turn. And she had managed to figure out how to open that door and was out with Eve in the living room. So she hasn't got out of her crate in a while, thankfully. She also is not allowed to have a dog bed in her crate. She has some blankets and she hasn't tore them up, but every time we've put a dog crate in her bed, she tears them up. I don't know why. It is frustrating. Yo, you look like a bat. You look like a bat. Her favorite out of everyone is Eve. Eve is Pepper's favorite. There's one time I went to visit my family and I took Eve with me. I pretty much always take Eve on any trip I go on. Eve is my sidekick and she's super easy to deal with, whereas Pepper is not, and Yo-Yo gets car sick, so Eve is usually the one who goes with the girls. And anyway, we got back. We were gone like close to a week. We got back, came through the front door, and Pepper was so excited to see Eve. Pepper said hi to me for like 2 seconds and then was like, Eve, I love you, I miss you. She also kind of keeps up with where Eve is, and generally wherever I am, Eve is. Eve is very Velcro, whereas Pepper is very nosy. She likes to know what's going on. She likes to be where like the action is. She also pretty much only cuddles with Eve. Pepper is not a very loving dog. There's very, very few times in the like 2 years we've had her that she has cuddled with us willingly. So Eve usually sleeps next to my stomach, chest area. And one day, Eve and I were in bed and we were going to take a nap, and I had left the bedroom door open, and Pepper came in, and Eve happened to be under the covers at my feet instead of her normal spot. And Pepper got up and on the bed, and she was smelling where Eve usually was, and she was super concerned that Eve was not there. She would look at me, smell some more, look at me again, like, where is she? And then she finally found her, was content, and laid down. Pepper also loves car rides. She actually, before we got the fence in our backyard, she ran over to our neighbor's house and got in the car with our neighbor's wife. And this is before, they had really met the dogs or anything. And Pepper, Pepper's kind of a big dog, and it scared the wife, and I felt really bad. It was funny afterwards, but I felt really bad about it. Of course, we apologized, and since we have the fenced in yard, they don't do any crazy stuff anymore. Pepper also has a thing about hats. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. John and I don't really wear hats. Actually, I take that back. We don't wear hats. I have one hat that I have worn one time in the last year. And that was just because I was wanting to see how Pepper would react to me wearing a hat. But other people that she doesn't really know who wear hats, she will bark at them. I took her to the vet closer to the beginning of the year. I also took Eve because Eve had to go. And then I found out that Pepper was needing to go too, so I just made an appointment for both of them. Word of advice, if you have any kind of husky mix, whatever husky, just take the husky places. Eve is good. Eve stays with me. Girls. She listens gross. We literally have ropes to play tug of war with. Here. Pepper is very curious, and she wants to see everyone, and she wants to know what's going on, and it was, I think, the first time I'd taken Pepper anywhere with another dog other than just for a car ride, and I was by myself, you know, it was during the quarantine, and anyway, it was fun. But there's a guy that walked in at the vet, and he was nice. I liked him. He was a slightly older guy, and he had a hat on, and she just started barking at him. She would not be quiet. And he thought it was funny and was like joking around with her, you know, like talking to her. He didn't actually try to like pet her or touch her or anything. But I felt so bad because the receptionists were on the phone. I could not get Pepper to stop barking. I could not break her focus. Even if I stood in front of her, squatted down in front of her, she was still like, I know the hat's here. Pepper also is the sassy one. She will backtalk you, especially if you want her to do something and she doesn't want to do it. She'll do it, but she will let you know that she's not happy about it. She also is weird. So I have, as you guys know, I have a bearded dragon, and I feed him greens, and if I don't watch her, she will take his greens and eat them. Why? I have no clue. I've tried giving a piece of collard green to Eve and Yo-Yo, and they don't like them. But Pepper's just like, oh, he's gonna eat that, I'll eat it first. I don't understand. Do you, Eve? Pepper and Yo-Yo both also really love popcorn. That is their thing. Well, Pepper actually will pretty much eat any human food. And she will take it off of your plates if you're not watching. If you're watching, she'll kind of smell your plate, but if you're not watching, she's like, that's mine. And she loves car rides. I can touch a leash and she gets so excited. I can touch my car keys and she goes insane. And it's just my car keys. Like, there was one day I was needing something out of John's car, so I got his car keys and went out to his car, and the girls got a little bit excited, but not really. And then later I touched my car keys and they were like, oh my gosh, we're going for a ride. Especially Pepper. She will literally run from one end of the house to the other end. I'll try to get a video of her doing it sometime. And I've read that you can desensitize your dogs to car keys and leashes by just randomly touching them throughout the day. However, Pepper does not calm down for a long time after touching the car keys. And it's even gotten to the point where if I put shoes on, she thinks we're going somewhere. Which is that's probably my fault because I prefer not to wear shoes at home. So whenever I'm home, unless I'm doing something outside, I usually, well, it depends on what I'm doing outside, but most of the time I don't wear shoes at home. She has started trying to catch bugs. Yo-Yo is the one who started that, and now Pepper started it. But Pepper does it in such a way, like, we'll be sitting in the living room watching, TV, and we'll be calm and just chilling, And then the next thing I know, Pepper just jumps up like something's got her. No, she's trying to catch a bug, and it scares me every single time. Every single time. And Pepper does not like to be brushed. She hates being still. That is the worst punishment for her, is making her be still. So when she was younger, we used to put her in her crate whenever she would do something, which is not necessarily the best thing to do because you want the crate to be a good place, but it also depends on your dog and everything. There's a lot about training that I've learned recently that I did not know. But yeah, we would put her in her crate. That's not a punishment to her. She loves her crate. I have lost her before in the house. Looked everywhere, and I was like, I know she's not outside. I haven't let them out in, however long. And I go and find her, and her crate door was left open, and she was just laying in her crate. And I'm like, you couldn't have at least barked or something to let me know you were still here? Yeah, she hates having her nails cut, even more than being brushed. And if she'll let me show you guys, Pepper. So she has one eye, Pepper, that is half blue and half brown. Yeah, her has pretty eyes, huh, Pep? Pepper was not my favorite. Well, okay, just so everyone knows, Eve is definitely my favorite. We have spent almost Eve's entire life together. Eve is 6 years old. She'll be 7 in March. And Eve and I just have a really good bond. She has helped me in so many ways. Yo-Yo is a close second. If I didn't already have Eve, Yo-Yo would probably be my favorite. And I did not like Pepper. Pepper, as I said, is a handful, and sometimes I thought maybe I was just exaggerating. And then I've had friends, come over and actually spend time around her, and they're like, no, you're not exaggerating. She is a little much, especially when you're working and you come home after a long day. Like, Pepper's just... I haven't been working for the past several months, and Pepper and I have bonded more, and I have gotten to the points where, like, sometimes, we'll joke. Whenever she's being extra bad, we'll joke about giving her away or, whatever. And then I'm like, we can't do that. I'll miss her too much. I love her. Whereas before, I was like, I'll find her another home. I got this covered. So being home and actually spending more time with her and having the energy to play with her and deal with her and stuff, we have bonded a lot more than we previously had. I very much enjoy staying home with all the dogs. It's not something I can do forever or anything, but right before the pandemic really got bad and we were in lockdown, I quit the job I was working because it was like I was working all the time. My anxiety got so bad that I literally could not drive in my car 5 minutes to the store without having to go to the bathroom. And John was like, oh, if coffee does that to you, maybe you need to stop drinking coffee. And I'm like, no, this is not coffee. This is for my anxiety. And it's been really fun to get to be with the girls and bond with them more, be able to have the energy to do more with them and work on training them better. The current thing that we are working on is something for Pepper. So Pepper, whenever she wants to go outside, she runs and jumps on the door and she gets in the way, and it's just a little chaotic. So I have started making the girls sit, especially Pepper. They have to sit and stay until I open the door before I let them go out. There are exceptions, of course, like if they're starting to puke, or which does not happen very often. Eve has a very sensitive stomach, and I found a dog food that works really good for her, so we haven't had any issues with puking or anything. But sometimes Pepper or Yo-Yo will eat grass and come inside, and then they'll start to puke, and I'm like, nope, go to the door, we're going outside. And we have been working on Pepper's car rides. So Pepper would want to be up front. Even if there was someone in the passenger seat, she would try to get up front. And I very, very strongly believe that your dog should ride in the back seats. For multiple reasons. One, if you wreck, they're hopefully a little more protected. Two, they're less likely to cause you to wreck. Pepper used to be really bad about trying to get up front, and we actually would have to use one of the doggy seat belts and buckle her in. She's gotten to the point where she's not as bad about it, but she doesn't understand the seat cover I have in my car, and she'll like get stuck between the seat cover and the door. And yesterday my sister and I took the garbage off, and we took the dogs. It takes maybe 5 minutes total to take the garbage off and come home. And I've been trying to get Yo-Yo a little more used to car rides, because as I said before, she does get car sick, and even Pepper just love car rides. So we took the girls, and Pepper got stuck between the seat cover and the door. Don't ask me how. No clue. Well, anyway, she couldn't get unstuck, and she wasn't hurt or anything. She started kind of flailing about, and she ended up falling in the floor. And then she would put her head and her front legs where the console is in the middle of the driver and passenger seat, and it was really cute, but it was funny. But I don't know how to help her understand the seat cover. If Yo-Yo didn't get car sick, I wouldn't necessarily need one. But since Yo-Yo does get car sick, it helps protect the seats. It's easier to clean up. So I'm not sure. And I'm also not even sure how Pepper even gets stuck. I've never had an issue with Eve or Yo-Yo with any type of seat cover. It's just been Pepper. Anyway. They're so sleepy. Pepper also, if you do manage to hold her to cuddle with you, she loves her tummy rubbed. So that's how she'll stay a little bit longer with you and love you a little more. She's definitely not a lovey dog. Sometimes she will give you kisses. Not very often. It's usually whenever she wants your attention for something. I have kind of gotten her to where I can say, Pepper, I love you, and she'll give me a kiss sometimes. Not all the time. Oh yeah, they also love, especially Yo-Yo, they love to tear the stuffing out of toys, which kind of sucks because Eve's favorite toys are the plush type ones. Let me see if I can find Pepper's favorite toy. I found one. Alright, these things are Pepper's favorite. You can get them at Walmart. She's also very good at catching stuff. And Pepper will go around holding the toy in her mouth and just squeak it constantly. She's probably not going to do it now because I won't hurt you, but... And it's always at the most inopportune moments, like if you're on the phone. Yeah, that is what she will do. Come on, Eve. Excuse you. Did you drink water too fast? It sounded like that's what you were doing. You good? Are you good? Okay. Are you good, Pepper? Are you good, Pepper? Also, I love how Pepper's ears are colored up. They're still a little big for her. I don't think she's ever going to grow into them. Eve, seriously. Are you good? I will look up how to do puppy CPR if I need to. Anyway, so that's Pepper, how we came to have Pepper. Of course. But Pepper, for all of the bad stuff I could say about her, she does have her moments of being super sweet. They don't last very long, but she does have her moments of just being the sweetest, and it makes you love her more, and then she goes back to being a little brat. Alright, the next video, girls, what are you doing? The next video will be an update on how all the pets are doing. The dogs, the bearded dragon, the tarantulas. Won't be a very exciting video, but